So that's a little story to help you understand the difference between people pleasing and being nice, and the core root of it, and that it can change, and that it can change for you too. This is pretty much the greatest joy I have being on the planet. I like wine, I like chocolate, I like glitter, I like mountains, I like cabins, I like a lot of things. And they bring me a lot of joy, but this rich fulfillment is when I can support a soul who's doing their best and just banging their head up against the wall because they can't see their blind spot and they don't know how to heal it. And I'm no different. I'm so grateful for my coaches that have helped me come home to my body. People pleasing versus being nice. Alana Pratt here, intimacy expert, and the founder of the world's first partnering app, Heartmates, where we become the one to find the one, which keeps the one. People pleasing is sourced in fear, and being nice is sourced in love. I'm reminded of a trip I took with a bunch of people, and there was a certain gentleman, and I was watching his behavior. He was buying a lot of gifts for all the ladies. And he's generous, and he's wealthy, and kind, and all the rest of it. But I noticed the pattern and the energy because I do the work. I walk my talk. I'm an amazing coach, but I'm also a student of life. I can sense where something isn't congruent. It's sort of like half a truth and half a lie. There's something off. And as I was watching all of this, I then had an opportunity to sit and have more intimate conversations with him. And I learned a lot about his issues around his mother and how when he grew up, she was drunk and rageful, and how he wanted nothing more than to be safe in her arms and to feel loved and safe with her, but he never had that. And so because that wound was never resolved as a child, this way of being to do things to keep women happy, to keep his mom from not raging, was like a blind spot for him. And he would never have any long-term relationships that lasted, and he was well into his 60s and getting really quite frustrated. And so he'd purchase, touch on the side, and then he was ashamed of that, and he was really in a pickle. But we did some inner work. We did some of these little U processes. I have 10 actually Alana Pratt method processes, but really he was seeking on the outside what he'd never received as a child, and that just doesn't work. It turns us into people pleasers. It turns us into giving away our power or buying affection. I don't even know if we could call it love, right? And so we did some of this inner work, and it's not fair. It is what it is. We have to grow up and be spiritually mature. He had to re-parent himself on the inside. Everything he was seeking on the outside that he never got as a kid and he wasn't getting authentically from women as an adult, we began to give that to him on the inside. And he started to become whole and complete on the inside. He still preferred attention from women, but he no longer needed it to feel safe on the inside. He was starting to really, sort of clunk into his hips and into his body, and out of that spinning mind of doubting himself and being hypervigilant, not trying to get attacked and la 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 la, right? He started being kind to himself. He started being home with himself. He started feeling whole and enough in himself. And then his behaviors on the outside started to shift. He was still generous, but it came from being nice, not being a people pleaser. And he stopped just getting that hit of attention or affection because he started to feel full, having this relationship with himself and this relationship with the divine and relationship with nature, and everything he did was more nourishing and fulfilling, and he was feeling quite whole. And then someone who was his friend for so long, but could never see him as a romantic partner because of the way he was being with women, he was being different. And she saw him differently. And they're married. I mean, it was kind of a quick, I suppose, engagement and marriage, but they'd already been friends for 5 years. But it could never go the mile, it could never go all the way because he hadn't come all the way home. And once he did, she was just like, dang, I'm impressed because I already like you as a friend, but I couldn't surrender to you because you weren't safe inside yourself and you weren't giving love from the overflow. There was always strings attached, but then he became his whole self. And she was like, Better scoop them up before somebody else does. And at last, I've heard they're certainly living happily ever after. So that's a little story to help you understand the difference between people pleasing and being nice, and the core root of it, and that it can change, and that it can change for you too. This is pretty much the greatest joy I have being on the planet. I like wine, I like chocolate, I like glitter, I like mountains, I like cabins, I like a lot of things. And they bring me a lot of joy, but this rich fulfillment is when I can support a soul who's doing their best and just banging their head up against the wall because they can't see their blind spot and they don't know how to heal it. And I'm no different. I'm so grateful for my coaches that have helped me come home to my body, to my knowing, and to my wholeness. And if this resonates with you, oh, how I would love to be of support to you. It is truly an honor and a privilege to be so real, go so deep, be so brave, be so intimate, and create incredible results in people's intimate lives and relationships. So if you're taking in what I'm putting down, then go to alanapratt.com. There is a complimentary intimacy blind spot assessment there. Take it. You'll get to know me more about what I'm about, and you'll get some insights. But awareness is just awareness. If things aren't working now, we have a greater awareness of why things aren't working, but they're still not working. We have to do the work. The only way through is through. Intimacy is an inside job. So I encourage you to register for a call with me, alanapratt.com/connect. It's called an intimacy breakthrough experience. And we're going to go deep, and I'm going to reveal your blind spot, and I'm going to show you the legit path to healing it in a lasting way, not just relief. Okay? No, I don't want to give you a fish. I mean, I will for a little bit if you're hungry, but I want to teach you to fish. I want you to be a sovereign being. And I want you to have a return on investment of the work that we do for the rest of your life, in all areas of your life. Then I have done my work. And so I will invite you into the coaching that will give you the results you desire. I'm for realsies. This is the real work. We roll up our sleeves and we do perhaps the most fulfilling, rewarding work, inner work of your entire life, coming home to you, the glory of you, magnificent you, noble, badass you. All my love.